Good morning, students. Let's start our today's topic, that is the second component of developing human resource, that is health. Students, health refers to a sound physical and mental state of the individual. It means if a people who is mentally and physically able bodied or are in a very good condition, it means that person is healthy. A person's ability to work depends largely on his health. Good health increases the quality of life. Improvement in health of population is an important element of human resource development. Good health means increase in the overall efficiency, productivity, and mental abilities of a person. Therefore, investment on health is an investment on human beings and on improving the quality of their life. Investment on health should be treated as a part of the strategy of human resource development. During the last 65 years, efforts and investment have been made to build up health infrastructure and the manpower requirement to run it. Several national health programs have been established and implemented to combat communicable diseases. Combat means to fight. As you know that diseases are of two types, that is communicable and non-communicable disease. Communicable disease means the disease that can be spread from one infected person to other healthy people. And non-communicable disease means that cannot be spread from a infected to other healthy people. The major cause of morbidity, just a minute, morbidity. Morbidity means the condition of being diseased. Now let's come to our sentence. As I told you that the major cause of morbidity and mortality, there are two words. One is morbidity and the other is mortality. mortality. Mortality means death on a large scale, and morbidity means the condition of being diseased. These are two words. One is morbidity, which means the condition of being diseased, and the other is mortality, which means death on a large scale. The major cause of morbidity and mortality are the poor requirement of health. National direction has also been given to improve the overall health profile of the people through several centrally sponsored schemes. Through health is a state subject. The major national programs to fight communicable and non-communicable disease have been those concerning to control or eradicate of malaria, then after tuberculosis, AIDS control, leprosy eradication, and control of blindness, cancer, iodine deficiency, diabetes, etc. Even several attention has been given to treatment of Kala-Azar, which is a type of fever, and other diseases. As the National Health Policy seeks to provide prophylactic. You see here the word prophylactic. Prophylactic means medicine which is used to control disease. Remembered? Prophylactic means the medicines or the action that is being used to prevent disease, and curative healthcare services, and aims at achieving an acceptable standard of good health among the general. Success in eliminating or controlling diseases such as smallpox, leprosy, polio, and TB is an indicator of progress made in the field of health. Overall, sex ratio has increased from 933 in 2001 to 940 in 2011 census. The country has a well-planned or a structured three-tier public health infrastructure comprising community health center, that is called CHCS, primary health center PHC, and sub-centers spread across rural and semi-urban areas, and tertiary medical care providing multi-specialty hospitals and medical colleges located almost exclusively in urban areas. But it is said to say that inadequate in this infrastructure, including shortage of personnel, resulted in gaps in coverage and outreach of service, particularly in the rural areas. And in order to bridge this gap and provide accessible, affordable, equitable healthcare, the government has launched a large number of programs and schemes. There has been a steady increase in healthcare infrastructure available over the plan period. However, the shortness of the number of doctors, nurses, hospitals are also seen. No doubt the government has made an improvement and an increase in this structure, but despite of this, we need more doctors, infrastructure, advanced techniques to treat people so that our population or our country's people should not go to other nation for their treatment. As before starting our second topic, that is unemployment, I would also highlight about the status of women, particularly health related. In India, the life expectancy at birth for females has increased from 44.7% in 1971 to 60.9% in 1994. India's performance in women's health is a little better and slightly superior to the average of the developing world. The performance is much worse than that of China and Sri Lanka in terms of life expectancy, infant mortality rate, that is, death of child before the age of 1, child mortality rate, and maternal mortality rate. As this is the case of discussion related to our status of health. Then after, housing is also an important element of social infrastructure. As I have not written, listen carefully. After health, education, housing is also an important element. Good housing means good quality of life, and living in slums or living without shelter is a curse which not only affect our body but also the mind. So, the National Housing and Habitat Policy was formulated to address the issue of sustainable development of housing infrastructure through a strong public-private partnership. Availability of drinking water and provision of sanitation facility are the basic minimum requirement for healthy living, and to improve the water supply and sanitation facilities in urban areas of the country, considerable investment is necessary. The annual budgetary support for the total sanitation campaign was increased from 202 crore in 2003 to 4 to rupees 1200 crore in 2009 to 10. Then after, we have to start our next important topic, that is unemployment. As you know that an economy needs manpower, that is labor, to produce goods and services, and supply of labor comes from population. Remembered, an economy needs manpower, that is labor. Labor helps to produce goods and services, and supply of labor comes from the population. Therefore, population plays an important role in economic development. But when growth of population is more in comparison to the resources of an economy, then it creates unemployment. So, from this sentence, the question arises, what is unemployment? Then unemployment is a situation in which the able-bodied person or physically and mentally sound person are willing to work at an existing wage rate, but they do not get work. After that, what are the types of unemployment? Then broadly, as you see from the graph or the flow chart, there are two groups of unemployment, that is rural unemployment and urban unemployment. Here is urban unemployment. Again, rural is of two types, seasonal and discussed, and urban is basically of educated unemployment. As India is a developing country, therefore its problem of unemployment is a mixture of the problems of unemployment of developed and underdeveloped countries. The unemployment in India, as I told you, can be broadly classified as rural unemployment and urban unemployment. If we talk about rural unemployment, as you see, In India, nearly 75% of total laborers are rural workers, two-thirds of which are self-employed, engaged in agricultural and non-agricultural activities like cottage industry, and while rest of 25% work for others. Therefore, problem of rural unemployment is mainly a problem of underemployment. There is seasonal and discussed unemployment in rural areas. Seasonal, as the term itself explains, that if a people during a particular period of time get work and rest, they remain as ideal or idle. That is called seasonal unemployment. That's why we can say that agriculture in India is a seasonal occupation. People are employed at the time of sowing or and harvesting only, and rest of the time they are out of employment. Such a situation is called seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment is first in occupation other than agricultural also, like ice cream factories, because ice cream is basically preferred during summer and in winter season the people remain as it is. Sugar mill during the harvesting of sugars only, ice factories during the summer season only. Now second one is discussed unemployment. Actually, discussed unemployment is a condition, it is a situation in which more than the required people are working in a factories, in a farm or in a land. So we can say that it refers to discussed unemployment refers to the situation where more people are employed in a work than actually required. This is the major form of unemployment in rural areas where more people are engaged in farming. Agriculture is one of the oldest occupations in India, which engages more people than any other occupation. For example, if a piece of land being cultivated by 6 workers and actually requires 3 people to manage, it means if 3 people are withdrawn from the land, there would not be any loss of production. Such a situation is called discussed or hidden unemployment. Discussed unemployment is also called hidden unemployment. Remember, sometimes for 1 marks this question comes. Now, urban areas have mostly educated unemployment. As you see in the urban areas, most people with file in their hand, roaming place to place in searching for employee. So, unemployment among educated people is quite large in India. This type of unemployment creates instability and loss of output, as educated people who are considered the backbone of economy stay out of production. This type of unemployment in India has taken place due to increased educational facilities at school, college, technical and research level without any placement support. After this, what was the magnitude of unemployment in our country? As you know that the problem of unemployment in India is quite grave. In India, unemployment exists in several forms, that is rural, urban. A part, as per the estimates of unemployment during 5-year plan, the total number of unemployed person, which was 3.3 million at the beginning of the first 5-year plan, increased to 34 million at the beginning of ninth 5-year plan. As you see from this table, actually fourth, fifth is not given. In our next video, I will give you this. As magnitude of unemployment is measured in two ways. Remembered? Magnitude of unemployment is measured in two terms or in two ways. That is through conducting sample surveys and population census. And secondly, information is provided by employment exchange. From these two ways, we can gather information about the magnitude of unemployment in our country. With this, I would like to stop my today's videos here. Tomorrow, I shall again come with our remaining portion of this lesson. Thank you very much.